yesterday from the three-point. That's a lot of because of the presence that Dantes and Cardoso demand inside.
Cardoso and Booker will jump. We started with 10, we're down to 2. Only one will remain. Off we go here in the finals of the AmeriCup in 2025. Brazil with the first possession. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Carla Gay alongside Kelsey Wright-Johnson. Courtside here in Santiago, Chile. And a first rip there by Reagan Beers, excuse me, for the Americans. Olivia Miles leading the team in assists, leading the tournament in assists per game. Turned the corner and was ripped there. Here's Bella Nascimento. Sharp shooting guard for Brazil, was on fire in the semifinals. He's a player of the game in that semifinals with 22 big points. Damiris Dantes getting in the weight room for 2.
You know, that actually started with Dantes communicating to her teammates. You can see she had the post up on her defender, and she's pointing where she wants that inbounds from. Really smart play, and you can see the experience that she brings on the offensive end.
Blakes with the float for 2 to open up the scoring for the Americans. Kayla Blakes set an SEC record with 53 points for Vandy in January, and then topped it on the road with a 55-point outburst at Auburn, as you see that triple splashed in that time by Victoria.
Yeah, and Victoria is averaging 53 points, or 53%, excuse me, from the field heading into this game. So a dangerous player from all over the field.
Booker short on the jump shot, the rebound by Edwards. She was hit, and she'll go to the line. It's the first foul on Cardoso.
That should have been part of the keys. Where the key for Team USA was to get going, but I mean, attack those 2 bigs that are such a pivotal piece of the offense for Brazil. An early foul there for Camila Cardoso.
Joyce Edwards averaging just under 10 points per contest, 5.3 boards. As the captain of this American squad, we saw her come alive in the college championship game against UConn, coming off the bench and absolutely dominating in that one, but couldn't get her team to win. She's one of many Gamecocks going to be featured here in this game. Camila Cardoso, former Gamecock. We also have on the bench for Brazil, Ayla McDowell, who will be joining Edwards as a teammate this season under Dawn Staley. Cardoso inside for 2.
And that's just muscle memory right there. She pinned her defender on top, grabbed the lob, and as soon as she gets the ball down low, it's game over, because Cardoso has the size advantage and the skill advantage. The touch around the rim is so good for Camila Cardoso.
Zalo's 3 off the mark. And Blakes will push the other way. Here's Booker. Beers. She'll tee up a long 2. That's off. Victoria had it bang off of Edwards' shoulders. What hustle by Edwards, keeping it in play for the Americans. And Beers on the layup. Second foul for Cardoso in the game.
That could be a really big turn of events for Brazil. 2 early fouls for Cardoso. There's going to be a substitution, and she's going to take a seat on the bench. And she's averaging a whole lot of minutes and a whole lot of points for this team. And you bring Mora in, who's, you know, a really good offensive player, but you're losing your second leading scorer on this team to foul trouble with just 7.5 left to go. And that's all because of the hustle of Joyce Edwards to keep it inbounds for Team USA.
Camila Cardoso averaging 14 points, 10 boards, and as Kelsey mentioned, playing 25 minutes per game. Brazil has had a lot of blowouts here in Santiago, Chile, so Cardoso has had the ability to sit a little bit, and now she'll have to sit and watch and be careful when she does come back on the floor, as she already has those 2 fouls. Of course, in people play, 5 fouls and you're out of here. Nascimento pulls up in front of Beers. No good. Edwards pulls down the board. This is what Joyce Edwards could do. Play all 5 positions. Blakes from the 45 for 3. It's not there. Beers with a strong rebound inside. How about Reagan Beers' start to this game?
You know, Beers early on was calling for the mismatch. She had Nascimento on her, but the mismatch didn't matter because as soon as they switched out, she got the defender on her back and had perfect rebounding position.
Foul called on the pass. Joyce Edwards as she goes crashing in to Dominguez Dantas. Dantas going to have to pick up the scoring, and she's been a scoring machine here in Santiago, Chile, averaging 19.2 points per game. That leads all scorers in the tournament. And now Cardoso on the bench. An opportunity for her to go. Hannah Hidalgo waiting her turn to sub into this game. She was terrific in the semifinals against Canada on both ends of the floor. Dominguez Dantas working on Beers. Dantas gets fouled, and she'll go to the line.
It has been such a game for the bigs to start off, and I think we knew that was coming with the firepower of Dantas and Cardoso. What it's going to take from the American bigs to get it done, and it's going to have to start with them on the defensive end, as we'll get two fresh bigs in to avoid foul trouble on Beers and Edwards. You get in Van Sluten and Stolke. They take a seat on the bench with one foul each.
So Dominguez Dantas has been absolutely terrific, pausing her WNBA season to come down here and play for the national team. The only player to appear in the Olympic Games for Brazil back in 2016, still remaining on the senior national team. She averaged 16.7 boards during that run. Brazil unable to get a victory, though, at that Olympic Games. Booker missing that jump shot. Dantas able to vacuum in the rebound. Here's Nascimento. Don't want to leave her alone. Nascimento drops her first three of the evening.
We mentioned she was 6 for 7 in yesterday's semifinal game, and coming into this one, she's averaging 48% from the three-point line, and it's not because she's not shooting a lot. She's made a couple. She's shooting volume, but making volume too.
Yeah. Has been able to stretch the floor and open up the paint for both Cardoso and Dantas offensively. Not afraid to put it on the deck like here. And Olivia Miles gets fouled, or picks up the foul, excuse me. And that will send Nascimento to the line.
You know, Olivia Miles got called with the foul there, and she actually called for the substitution, asking for Hannah Hidalgo to give her a quick breather, and she goes to the bench. It's not the last we're going to see from her.
So Hannah Hidalgo in the game now. Going to have to deal with Bella Nascimento, the Massachusetts native who played 2 years at Manhattan and then 2 more years at William & Mary. All CAA as a senior last season with 16 points and a steal and a half. An absolute sharpshooter for Brazil. So Hannah Hidalgo, her first touch of the rock, her team down 5. She came in against Canada, just transformed the basketball game, took it over on both ends of the floor with her defense, and that turned into offense. Van Sluten inside to Stolke. Of course, close quarter passing that time for the two bigs. Mora. She's a different big than Cardoso is. She can step out and shoot the three. Rolling with Gonzalo. Good find by Gonzalo. Mora misses the lane. It's Madison Booker. She'll work off of Van Sluten. Hidalgo surveying the situation. Able to touch the paint, get to the rim, can't finish. Booker cleans it up.
Madison Booker, the 2-time winner in the NCAA, the award for the best forward, and she just puts her athleticism on display with that putback.
4 offensive rebounds to start this game for Team USA. Dantas traveled. Stolke with great defense to force that turnover. Here it is.
Yeah, and you take a look at just how good Team USA is. Coming into this game, they're averaging 31 points off turnovers. So not only are they leading the tournament in steals per game, but they're also converting.
Against the Dominican Republic, they had 31 steals. That's a modern-day record here at the AmeriCup. How about Maddie Booker drilling the straight-on three? Booker has struggled with her shot here at the AmeriCup, just shooting 39% from the field. That had to feel good going through the hoop. Hidalgo with the pick and pulls for 3. It's not there. Blix on the offensive rebound.
Those two players right there, Blakes and Hidalgo, they've combined, coming into this one, 5.5 steals The USA, like I said, averaging 29 fast break points. But those two averaging that many steals. Hidalgo had 5 steals in her last game alone. And so if you show them the ball at any time on offense, you don't take care of it, this is the team that's going to take full advantage.
That 3 no good. Another offensive rebound for Team USA. Blake's shot not there. Dantes pulls it down and will push the other way. You can see Brazil missing Camila Cardoso, giving up so many old boards here in this opening period. Here's a steal that you were talking about for Ana Hidalgo.
Yeah, I mean, you know Gonzalo is thinking that she's protecting the ball with her body, but you give an inch to Ana Hidalgo, she's going to take a mile coming into this one. She's coming off a really, really good game, like you were saying, Carlin, where 5 steals wasn't even the headline when it could have been a headline for any other player playing in this tournament. Really, really good defender and excellent hands, as you saw in that play.
Gianna Neekins and Audie Crooks into the game for Team USA. Nascimento finding a crease to lay it in. There's Pokey Chapman looking on, the head coach of Brazil. As this team rolling here in Chile. Haven't really faced any tough competition. Similar to the Americans, their toughest battle came against Canada in the semifinals. Brazil absolutely rolled Argentina in the semis. That game was over by the end of the first quarter. 7 to shoot for Team USA here as Neekins will inbound. Hidalgo rejects the screen, attacking, can't get it to go. Crooks puts it back up and in as the shot clock expires. Early minutes for Audie Crooks, paying off for the Americans.
Yeah, and 7 offensive rebounds already for Team USA for 12 second chance points, and 12 of those 19 have been on opportunities they created for themselves.
De Oliveira trying to weave through traffic. Over the head pass. Mora for 3. That doesn't go. Hidalgo comes away with the board. Crooks wants it down low. Van Sloten top of the key. Smith turning the corner. Smith stops and pops. Shoe is hit, no whistle. And Dantes will push back the other way. Nascimento inside to Dantes, floor clear. She goes to work. And that's going to be tough for Van Sloten or anyone on Team USA to have to deal with.
Like, Dantes has played 9 years in the WNBA, and you can see the difference in her game.
Hidalgo didn't waste any time, returning the favor back the other way with the leg. Kakamachis. Bounce pass inside to Mora. And now Dantes again on Van Sloten. Plenty of space to operate. Got Van Sloten in the air. Trying to kiss it in off the window, but she'll have to earn the 2 at the line.
Dantes showed so much patience in that play. You mentioned leading the tournament in all scorers, but this is how she does it. Gets Van Sloten off the ground, waits for her to have 2 feet up before she goes back up, and it's almost a different counter every time you see Dantes down low. In the possession right before this, got in, went quick up off the glass. This time, really showed patience and drew the foul from Van Sloten to get the opportunity at 2. Plus, you're putting the bigs of USA a little bit more in foul trouble the more and more you go at them. And so Dantes, a really smart player and offensively talented, is an understatement.
She has the burden of carrying the national team on her back. Erica de Souza, who did it for so long with Brazil, former WNBA star. Now part of the national team as a mentor, and Minas Dantes taking on the mantle as the captain and the leader of this squad. Hidalgo was fouled by Kakamachis, and Hidalgo will go to the line.
Ana Hidalgo coming into this one, averaging 12 points per game. A lot of them coming right underneath the hoop, and look, she's listed as 5'6", but she gets downhill among the trees, and she can get it done. She draws the foul on that one and has a chance at the charity stripe.
She had a 19-point outing in the semifinal against Canada. Pulled down 4 boards, dished out 4 assists, and as Kelsey mentioned earlier, had the 4 steals. And she came off the bench. Canada just couldn't deal with her. And she took that basketball game over. Looking to do the same here in the finals. Now locking in on Kakamauchi's full court. Hidalgo got her fingertips to the basketball, couldn't corral it. Or on top of the key. Dantes counted in the foul. That's a bad girl over there. Dominus Dantes will go to the line for one more.
Look at this. She knows she has a smaller defender on her. Doesn't need much space as you have Hannah Hidalgo right under your chin. A fadeaway and the poise to be able to finish that shot and the three-point play. I mean, Dantes, she's the MVP of a lot of different tournaments, including way back when U19 World Championships back in 2011. That's how long she's been dominant for Brazil.
Hidalgo's 3 not there. And Brazil will push back the other way. 2-for-1 opportunity for Brazil if they hurt. Oliveira, Dantes swings it. Ferreira driving baseline, swallowed up by Van Slooten. What a block by Van Slooten. Mora stuck with it. And Hidalgo will clear. And Hidalgo now stopping to find Audie Crooks, who had the smaller Kakamauchins on her back, and Kakamauchins came around and steal it. Hidalgo tracking back to come away with the steal. Shot clock unplugged. Team USA will hold for the final look.
And that's what you want from your point guard, right? If they give it away, they got to be able to get it back, and that's her second steal already in the first quarter.
Hidalgo running off the Audie Crooks screen. Finds Crooks. Crooks gets fouled. 0.9 seconds remaining in the period. Here's the block by Van Slooten.
Audie Crooks currently playing for Iowa State. She averaged 23 points per game last year, 60% from the field. She's a 2-time first team all Big 12, both this past season and the season before. And look, Audie's mom actually held the record for a leading scorer until Audie broke it. And so that's a player right there who knows how to put it on, and not the role she really has on Team USA, but early first quarter minutes here, she takes full advantage.
A 3-point advantage for Team USA here in the finals of the AmeriCup. They're up 25-22 over Brazil after one. First period stats on your screen right now. Shooting percentages okay for both teams so far. But Brazil finding the range from 3-point land, and that keeps them close. Dominus Dantes getting Joyce Edwards and Madison Beers from all competitions. Even basketball. Courtside 1891, your home for international hoop. And Hidalgo checking in for Olivia Miles, and ratcheting up the defense for Team USA will be U.S. basketball to start this second quarter. Edwards on the floor, Hidalgo. Beers back on the floor, Smith and Neekins. Here's Smith, watched by De Oliveira. Camila Cardoso with the 2 fouls. 10 and White back on the floor. Ferreira got a hand on it, and Kakamauchins will push back the other way. Cardoso sets the screen for Mauchins. De Oliveira comes off of it. They want to get Cardoso a touch. They do. Beers on her back. Cardoso weaving in, and she'll go to the line. And if that's on Beers, that's going to be her second foul.
I mean, and that's what Camila Cardoso does so well. You saw Reagan Beers, she's going to check out now, and in for her is Stolke, but you saw her battling so hard before Camila gets the ball down low, and that's what you got to do. That battle has to start before she gets the ball. I said it once, and you're going to hear me say it 1,200 times. Once Camila Cardoso gets the ball and has her defender pinned behind her in the key, it's over. And so you saw Reagan battling it out, trying to get position before they're able to inbound it. But once they do, she draws the foul and heads to the line.
It's 1 or 2 from the line. Stokey was able to pull down the board. Hidalgo hesitating, working on Kakamauchis. Neat kids on the drive, the float not there. Cardoso doing a good job just contesting that time, putting her hands straight up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the defense that you're going to see from Camila Cardoso in this third quarter. She's got 2 fouls, so she can't be uber aggressive. Just got to be the big body and the long vertical stance that she will have to be to protect the rim down low.
Hands once again for Brazil. 7 on the shot clock for Team USA to work. Stokey. Shot clock winding down. Hidalgo weaving through traffic. Got it up in time. It hit the rim, but couldn't get the drop. Stokey with the offensive rebound. Hidalgo will try again. That's not good. And Cardoso ripping it out of the sky. You can see the difference, Kelsey, when Cardoso is on the floor for Brazil. As Team USA has gobbled up 8 offensive boards here in this game. Dantes coming across the lane, falling away over Edwards.
There is not a lot you can do to defend that. And so, like I said, the work's got to start before both of those twin towers down low for Brazil get the ball. It's got to be getting the position rather than defending it when they've got it in their hands.
Edwards over Cardoso, that's short. And Ferreira puts a fork in. Dantes could also step out and hit the 3. She gets Cardoso a look inside as Stokey fell down. And this is what Brazil has done all tournament long, is body blows inside with Cardoso and Dominguez Dantes. Give Cardoso 5. Smith turning the corner, the float. It's not there. Cleared by De Oliveira. Cardoso with an early touch. Gets to the rim. Counted in the foul. Killer Cam announcing her presence in the final.
Yeah, watch this. Stokey gets stuck behind her, and there's just nothing you can do. I don't know if USA looks to double team her to get it out of her hands, but one-on-one, this is Camila Cardoso, and she's going to win that battle time and time again. That time Stokey, I think, looking to take the charge, but Camila is so good at controlling her body, staying vertical. She doesn't need to drop any type of shoulders or anything like that. Just big and physical. Knows how to finish around the rim, and I mean, you're going to get sick of me saying it, but the battle's got to be before she gets the ball.
She will take it 3rd overall in the 2024 WNBA draft behind Caitlin Clark and Cam Brink. A very star-studded draft. Many people will remember that draft, and Cardoso, a top 3 pick. Van Sluten working on Cardoso. Cardoso comes up with the block. Dantes now, down low on Edwards. Edwards giving her the space to work. And Carol Lawson has seen enough. Pokey Chapman rushing out to center court to talk to Camila Cardoso as the Brazilian bench celebrates. And they start rolling here in the 2nd period.
Right, and that's the difference that these 2 players make. They came into this one averaging 25 points each, but now it's time for them to turn on the Jets. Damaris with 14 and Camila with 8, and we'll go inside the timeout to hear Carol Lawson.
Move it! Go screen! On the roll will get you! Okay? But isoing against 6'7" is not the play. So let's be smarter and take better shots. We're quick shooting it off of one pass. That plays into their hands, okay? All right? This time down, okay? This time down. I want to go rocket. I want to go rocket with Joyce. Set a good screen for her, hand off behind. If you don't have anything, keep the ball moving. All right? Here we go, guys. Let's go.
Cardoso's presence being felt here in the second period. Dominguez Dantas also going to work. And points in the pink right now, favoring Brazil as they go on a 10-0 run here to start this second period and take the lead, 32-25.
You heard Kara Lawson say, look, the plan is not to ISO with a 6'7" player, and who she's referring to there is Camila Cardoso standing at 6'7". It can't be Camila Cardoso going one-on-one against Joyce Edwards or against Grace Van Sluten. Got to be a team effort in stopping her. Just 8 points right now, but presence felt in the rebounding, in the blocks, and in the dominance in the minutes, the limited minutes that she's played so far.
Olivia Miles back on the floor. Watched by Bella Nascimento. Booker trying to get around Dantas. They say last touch by Team USA. Dantas thought she actually hit her chest and said that she's the one that knocked it out of bounds. The officials will come together and give Team USA possession of the basketball, as that is the right call. Dantas definitely touched it before it went out of bounds. Here's a replay, Kels.
Yeah, you'll see the replay here, and I don't know how long that replay is, but you can see her say, my bad. And I mean, hey, the referees are doing such a good job as a team, and this is a gold medal game. You want to make everyone correct, and so a great redirect there from the referees.
It leads to a Blinks mini to stop the Brazilian run. Kaká Malchines. Belas Nascimento was wide open because Camila Cardoso cleared the way for her, and that is the third foul on Cardoso, and she'll have to head back to the bench.
You know what? That's the game plan. Forget the keys that I said before. Get Camila Cardoso off the court with 3 fouls with 6.5 minutes left to go in the first half. You can see the difference that she makes on this team. And the offense is the obvious side, but on defense, the way that USA can't drive and can't get shots up, and she alters those decisions as USA attacks. USA got to look to get a run going with Camila Cardoso off the court. Only 2 points scored in the quarter so far.
We saw Pokey Chapman talking to the lead official, Andres Bartel. She was pointing to Team USA's bench and saying that they're doing a lot of talking, and she wanted Andres Bartel to pay attention to that and maybe potentially advocate for a tech. Andres Bartel went over there and said, hey, this is the finals. Worry about your own team.
Coach is going to coach.
Miles was swallowed up that time by Victoria. Miles struggling to start this game a little bit. Dantas down low. Edwards all alone on an island, and finally got Dantas to miss one. And Booker was fouled by Victoria as she was trying to grab that board. And you see Pokey Chapman trying to sit her Brazilian team down as they were fired up for the call going against Victoria. There's a Victoria block of Miles.
Yeah, and you know, great defense there by Brazil. They're just so big, and I think what Miles does best coming into this one, averaging 7 assists, is getting her teammates going. And so if she can look to make some of those magic passes to get going, I think it'll open up some of her offensive looks.
Kayla Blinks put her head down and got to the rim that time. Couldn't get it to drop, though. That's a tie-up possession error going Brazil's way, so it'll be their basketball. And Dominguez Dantas is back on the floor after that short break, as is Alana Gonçalo, a point guard for Brazil. You see Olivia Miles heading out, and Hidalgo will check back in. And Hidalgo picking up full court. Sal's trying to shake Hidalgo, and Hidalgo picks up the foul. I don't think there's a point guard here that played against Hannah Hidalgo that won't see her in their nightmares.
Yeah, Hannah Hidalgo, I mean, you're talking about players. Even yesterday, watching Hannah Hidalgo play against Team Canada and Nell Fortner, who had to coach against her. Yeah. I think she's just in everyone's nightmares. Offensively, so lethal, and defensively, doesn't give you an inch to breathe.
Fortner coaching at Georgia Tech, now coaching for the Canadian national team, who won bronze here in a thriller, a double overtime thriller. The game before this one, the gym was on fire for that. Right now, they're enjoying a 5-point advantage for Brazil, and that's cut by that triple by Blakes.
Yeah, Michaela Blakes, I gave her credit for being efficient. She's also tied for leading scorer of this team, 12 points per game coming into this one. And I think she doesn't get as much credit because it's not as fancy, it's not the sexy plays, but she gets it done and does it really efficiently for the Americans.
That ball last touched by Joyce Edwards, 6 on the clock for Brazil to work with. Kara Lawson looking on. We're starting to see the intensity pick up on both ends of the floor here, midway through the second. Nascimento will try this inbound. Over the top, Edwards had a fingertip to it, and Mora touched it last, will go the other way.
Everything just seems to be going the American way right now with Camila Cardoso on the bench, and you mentioned it, the difference maker that she is offensively and defensively really fuels Brazil, so they got to find that from somewhere else. They got to find that fire without her on the floor for the next 4.5 minutes.
Olivia Miles back on the floor now for Team USA, trying a tough layup. She got hammered, and she'll go to the line to try and earn it. After Hannah Dog will pick up that last foul, her second, it brought Miles back in the game, and get her split the D there.
She's so impressive to watch, and I mean, if you're a fan of NCAA basketball, you've seen her a lot. She was projected to be #2 overall pick in the WNBA this season, but she's going to transfer to TCU, a new teammate, and I mean, she's been really good since her freshman year. She's the first freshman, men or women, to record a triple-double in their tournament debut, and so almost averaging a triple-double in tournament play here with 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. She gets it done on the foul line.
There was a sign that a young fan was holding up before this game started that said, "I love Olivia Miles," and I guarantee you that fan isn't the only one in this building. They just brought a sign for it. That's a tough move inside by Victoria, and then she comes up, almost comes up with the steal.
And that's the fire. That's the fire you need from Brazil, and it's going to be Victoria right now who lights that fire under Brazil. As I mean, they only allowed USA so far to score 7 points, but it just seems like USA has the momentum in their favor after 3 quick fouls on Cardoso.
Miles on the 45, driving baseline. Van Slooten jabbing, now spinning, bumped over the top of Mora. That's a tough bucket by Van Slooten. They want Dantas on the block. Joyce Edwards showing 2, came up with the block, but then got the back of Dantas' head, and Dantas showing some sportsmanship, checking on Joyce Edwards. Edwards got popped in the chin.
Yeah, Joyce Edwards is going to get that foul, and she'll take a seat on the bench with 2 fouls as Madison Stolke comes back in the game. And you were talking about a tough finish on the other end for Van Slooten, and even tougher defensive assignment for her right now, trying to slow down Damiris Dantas, the leading scorer of this tournament, almost 20 points per game coming into this one. And she's got an even bigger load on her shoulders right now without her partner in crime down low in the key.
Here you see some of the Argentinians who are signing autographs here for some of the youngsters in the arena. Argentina was the underdog in our bronze medal game, and all of a sudden the capacity crowd here became full-out Argentinian supporters as they supported them all the way to the double overtime loss, and were even chanting MVP for Greder, their starting point guard, who left the game and tried to keep it close against Canada. Meanwhile, here in this final, Michaela Blakes starting to sizzle offensively.
And both teams now with 4 team fouls. And so for the rest of the 3.5 minutes here, Carlin, every time we see an illegal touch, there's going to be foul shots. And it's been a really, really physical start to this game. And so it comes down to foul shots until the half break. This is so cute.
Agostina Burani there taking selfies with the crowd. It's been great to have this tournament here in Santiago, Chile, because the fans here have just absolutely adored all 10 teams here, including their national team, playing in this tournament. Mora's fouled by Blakes on the pass, so he'll be side out. No, excuse me, that will be the 15th foul for the U.S., so we'll send Mora to the line.
And Brazil has already shot 12 free throws in the first half alone. And I think in the second half, Carlin, it's just going to get more and more physical as the stakes and that medal gets closer and closer. This is just the beginning for both these teams.
Lane Mora plays for Sessi in the Brazilian Professional League, averaging 12.8 points per contest and 6.5 boards this season. Having to play a lot more here tonight in the final with Camila Cardoso on the bench with 3 fouls. Blakes' 3 not there. She fouled her own and then got clobbered by Mora. And official says it's going the other way as Blakes touched it glass out of bounds.
I mean, yeah, it's a no call there because it's Blakes that initiated that contact. Mora remained vertical, didn't do anything wrong, and although it was a really hard hit, you can't punish a defender for just being bigger.
Blakes defending tough there. Van Sloten with the steal. Blakes trying to get the lay, but Gonzalo came up with the block. And then Mora hustling back. Both teams fighting for the ball as Madison Booker dives on it and keeps possession for the Americans.
This is what you want to see in a gold medal game. At 2 different times in that one possession, you have both teams diving on the floor as you get another look at what a beautiful block. Great body control there. And there's the first person to dive. She tries to pass it off, and then you got Madison Booker diving herself. This is the intensity you got to see. This is high-level basketball here in Santiago.
Madison Booker tries to get into Van Sloten. Booker will take a 3. It's way off. And Dantas pulls down the rebound. This feels like important. 2:25 left to play in this half. Both teams trying to battle for momentum before we go into the halftime break.
Yeah, and it's important for both teams in different ways. If you're the U.S., you want to take advantage of the time without Camila Cardoso. Madison Blakes does just that. And for Brazil, you want to hold off. You want to make sure that the USA doesn't do what they just did and take the lead while Cardoso's on the bench.
What a pretty move for 2 by Michaela Blakes. And that leads to a timeout. 2:10 remaining here in the first half. Pokey Chapman's huddle is all yours. Appreciate both coaches allowing us to get into their huddles and listening on conversations. As you heard Pokey Chapman that time, setting up a play to try and space the floor. As you take a look at that beautiful spin by Michaela Blakes and the reaction from Kara Lawson wanting it to be an and one. But Blakes peeling herself off the deck, and she is rolling right now with 13 points here in this first half.
One of my favorite things is getting to listen to the coaches. She's saying, yeah, great on the offensive boards, only allowed 3 in this quarter.
Look at Blakes with the rip on Gonzalo and lays it in.
But, you know, Brazil shooting 55% from the field, and Coach Pokey Chapman still not satisfied, saying, let's get a little better looks.
Dantas being hounded by Stolke here. Dantas, the hook. Blakes the hot hand, moves it to Miles. They want to go on the block for Crooks. And that's a good defensive effort that time by Mora fighting around Crooks. Dantes was on the block waiting for that pass to come in, and a good kick save there by Booker. Look at Michaela Blakes. It's not only been her offense so far in this quarter, but the D stepping up as well. Inbound immediately to Dantes, and she says, get out of the way, let me go to work. Takes the hit and rattles it home.
Look, and that's good defense by Stuelke, better offense by Damaris Dantes.
Miles is clobbered on her way to the hoop, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Now take a look at this. As soon as Dantes gets you on your back, she looks over her shoulder. You see here, looks, sees the 3 defenders, sees Stuelke, feels her, and then fades away. She's going to be able to create space if you're behind her. If you're pinned behind her, it's over. How many times have I said that already?
We'll keep counting.
All right.
We'll keep
we're
counting.
At 10.
If Blakes has 15 points, you might be at 15. You're the leading scorer in this first half. Blakes with the poke again. And the lay. Michaela Blakes taking over this second quarter.
USA 13 points off turnovers. You got to know that going into this one. We mentioned the 31 steals they had in a single game in this tournament, and on their way there now.
Nascimento freeing herself for 3. Indeed. Fast pace right now in this basketball game with 30.6 seconds left to play in the first half. Blakes was fouled, and both teams in the penalty, and that will send her to the line. But again, fueling her offense with her D.
Michaela Blakes, 2 steals. Hannah Hidalgo, 2 steals. It's almost when one goes out, another comes in, and they're not giving the guards of Brazil any room to breathe. These 2 averaging 5.5 points combined, or 5.5, steals combined coming into this one, and already 4 combined in the first half.
Talked about her offensive explosion, setting the SEC and Vandy record with 53 points in January, and then following up and breaking it with 55 at Auburn. But last year she averaged 2.5 steals per game as well for Vandy. So getting it done on both ends of the floor. See the shooting percentages for both teams at the foul line. And a 1-point game in favor of Team USA. A 6-second difference between shot and game. As Dantes gets doubled. Nascimento has Smith in front of her. Nascimento will step back, and she's fouled with 1.7 left on the shot clock. And it's going to be 3 free throws coming from Bella Nascimento.
If that foul wasn't called, that defensive possession would have been credited to Audie Crooks. And she doubled at the perfect time to get the ball out of Dantes' hands. And then you can see her probably from your screen, even though it's a small view from the court, but she's the one directing traffic on the defensive end. She calls out the picks. She calls out Woodside, under, over, and really quarterbacking this defense for the USA. But she can't not foul. She can't tell someone else not to foul. And so Bella Nascimento, so dangerous, so crafty, draws that foul, and one of the best shooters on this Brazilian team, and just feasts from the perimeter. She's feasting from the free throw line right now.
Coach Lawson was trying to say that Nascimento wasn't in the act of shooting. That was the replay right there. You be the judge at home, as Nascimento knocks down all of her attempts at the line. Manu Alves will check into the game. She'll be headed to the University of Illinois next season. She's 19 years old, making her senior national team debut in this tournament. 21 in white. Blakes pulls at the horn. Can't get it to go. And that's how we'll end the first half, as that Crooks bucket was too late. Brazil trying to defend their AmeriCup crown. Right now, they take a 2-point lead into the halftime break.
Yeah, the Americans are not going to let them defend that crown without a fight. They're down by 2. Out-rebounding Brazil, 22-14. Brazil shooting a whopping 67% from the field. And you heard Pokey Chapman say, look, let's give up those good looks, get some great looks, and look for the ball movement here, as Dantas has taken over on the offensive end with 20 points already in this one, to go along with 5 rebounds and 2 assists, with Camila Cardoso playing limited minutes, just under 6 minutes in the first half, with 3 fouls.
Best plays from the second quarter, and as Kelsey mentioned, it's been Amanda Dantas powering this Brazilian offense. 20 points in this one. She's already exceeding her tournament average. Camila Cardoso, once she's been on the floor, she has been dominant. The problem was for Brazil in that first half, those 3 fouls had her watching a lot of basketball.
USA doing it by committee. Leading the way is Michaela Blakes, who gets it done on offense and defense. You see her pull up from the 3 there. Also credit her with 2 steals, which has been a huge part of the Americans' game so far. They've got 6 steals already as a team in the first half, and 13 points off of turnovers in that first half, as you see Vittoria really veteran move to the basket.
We're 20 minutes away from deciding who will take that trophy home with them from Chile. Meanwhile, you can scan the QR code on your screen. Courtside 1891, your companion app for the FIBA Women's AmeriCup. If you missed any of the action here in Chile, you can relive it with the Courtside 1891 app. Stream schedule, scores, and so much more. And you can also get set for the Asia Cup coming up later on this summer. AfroBasket coming up later on this summer. Those 2 tournaments will also determine who will get the direct ticket to the Women's World Cup in 2026 in Germany. Off we go here in the third quarter. Brazil starting with possession. It's Dantas, Cardoso back on the floor. Vittoria, Gonçalo, and Nascimento. The 5 for Brazil right now. Team USA rolls out Blakes, Edwards, Booker, Beers, and Miles. 9 to shoot for Brazil here. Dantas on the 45. Nascimento from the corner for 3. Indeed. 16 points and counting for Nascimento. Her 3rd triple of the game. She's perfect from the land beyond. It'll be Blakes. Horn set. Beers will step out for 3. Can't respond, but an offensive rebound and another one for Team USA. Edwards had it ripped as she tried to go over the top of Dantas. Cardoso banging her way to the rim. She'll go to the line for 2. It's been a tough night for Reagan Beers as she picks up the foul guarding Camila Cardoso.
Yeah, Reagan Beers now 3 fouls, and all of those have been trying to guard this woman right here in Camila Cardoso. And Cardoso at the line now, so both the bigs playing with 3 fouls as she misses that one. And you'd think this would be a sign for this team, or both of the bigs, and Beers and Cardoso, to stop banging down low, but it's not going to happen. This is a really physical game, and that's how Cardoso plays. And so she's going to have to be a little careful just because of how important she is. But like I said, USA really playing by committee right now. And so you want Reagan Beers to keep going at her. If she gets another foul, you just bring another big body off the bench and hope that Camila Cardoso commits her foul.
Edwards try the 3. It's an air ball. Van Sluten will check in. Edwards getting the quick hook after that miss. Hidalgo also back on the floor for Miles. Nascimento comes off the curl. Her first miss from deep. Hidalgo will pick it up and move back the other way. Blakes for three. It's not there. She's going to track down her own miss and attack the rim. Michaela Blakes showing out here in Santiago, Chile.
20 early points for Michaela Blakes. You wondered at half if that offense would cool down for her, and just start this one. What a bucket. And she's so good at finishing at the rim, as Camila Cardoso, really good at finishing at the rim herself. And Reagan Beers picks up her 4th personal foul.
It's just a tough cover for Camila Cardoso. The entire American bench erupting that time, upset with the foul call, but Cardoso just so physical, as you mentioned, Kelsey. And Beers did her best that time to match that physicality. And Cardoso continues the parade to the line. Knocks down the first. You see the leadership there by Blakes and Hidalgo having a conversation with Juan Fernandez from Argentina, one of the officials here.
Yeah, they're saying, how do we guard her without fouling? How do we do it? Give us some tips.
That is the question that every team that Brazil has seen here in Santiago, Chile is asking. Hidalgo driving to the hoop. She gets fouled, and we'll go to the line for 2.
I hope we get a replay of that, because Hannah Hidalgo, I had mentioned her size and the size advantage that the Brazilian defense has. Watch as she drives, scoops it up, and holds it with her entire arm, cradles it with the other one, and protects that ball so well as she drives down the lane. And that's because of the strength and the tenacity of her driving down the lane, as well as her protecting the ball with everything she's got. It doesn't allow Brazil to knock it out of her hands, which is something they've been able to do. Brazil really good at moving their feet, really good at moving their hands, but going up against Hidalgo, she's rewarded with a foul.
Hidalgo averaging just under 24 points a game, 5 boards, and 3.5 dimes. Think about her 3.5 steals last season at Notre Dame. She's such a defensive pest. I mean that in the best way. Not like the pest you are, Kels.
Oh my gosh.
Booker with the rebound. Hidalgo floats one. Can't get it to drop. Ball up for grabs. Hidalgo diving for it. A foul is going to be called.
That's that pesky defense right there that you're talking about. Hannah Hidalgo does not give up, and that time
official pointed the wrong way. That had Team USA losing their mind. So the foul is on number 8, Bella Nascimento, who jumped on top of Hidalgo. So everyone can calm down. And it'll be USA basketball, 14 on the shot clock.
Emotions are high.
And very high in the final.
The stakes are high, and we get another look here. Hannah Hidalgo, all heart, all hustle, gets on the floor, and a little bit of a tie up there, but you're right. Again, she protects the ball with her body, which forces Nascimento to reach around her.
Here's Maddie Booker. Blakes can't hit that time. And Cardoso tapped it up to allow Dantas to vacuum it in. Cardoso, deep post position, sprays it out. Victoria. It's a good closeout that time by Blakes. And Blake's going to foul Victoria. She was riding her on the way to the rim. Second personal foul for Michaela Blakes here. And the 3rd team foul already for Team USA here in this period. Nascimento steps back, blocked by Blakes. Ball up for grabs, and they're going to call a foul on Van Slooten.
Grace Van Slooten, that's her 2nd personal foul of the game. And if you're Team USA, that's one that you wish you could get back. Take a look at this one. Just hooking the arm of Damiris Dantas there underneath. And you want your bigs to be able to get their fouls, trying to block shots.
Dantes' three not there. Nascimento on the drive, missed it. Stolke finally clears. Van Sluten running the floor. Blakes draws two, and then she was bumped to the ground by Victoria.
I think the game was getting really, really physical to end that first half, so refs really cleaning it up now. And you see Blake's hit the deck on that one, but we've had a lot of 7 fouls already called in this quarter.
Blake's pulls for two, not there. Salo clears and will push back the other way. Cardoso falls down trying to find some positioning on Stolke. A three delivered by Dantes, and a foul called again on Team USA, and the bench losing it, and it's going to be a technical foul. So here's the initial foul call. It's going to be on Stolke, and then Kara Lawson's reaction mixed with the entire bench's reactions. Everyone stood up and were leaning over the LED boards, leads to the technical foul, and Damaris Dantes at the line for the free throw that falls through.
And in a tight game, that's a big swing and a big gift for Brazil. Not only do they have the free throw, but they have the chance now to continue in play, and it has Camilla at the line for 2 points because USA now in penalty for the rest of the quarter. And I talked a little bit on the last possession about how many fouls have been called, and 5 for US, 3 for Brazil already in this quarter. So if you know the refs are tightening up their whistle, that's how you got to play defense. And so Stolke doing her best to box out Camila Cardoso in that one, but if you almost let Camila Cardoso push you forward, right? Like, you know that it's a tight whistle moving forward in this one. You can't do those little extra jabs, a little extra step back.
Two-man game between Stolke and Hidalgo, and that is going to be the 4th personal foul on Cardoso, and it will send Stolke to the line. Cardoso will head back to the bench, and Mora, who has been getting the extended minutes in her absence, will re-enter the game. Bookmark that moment. Right now, 9-4 quarter for Brazil, and Cardoso now has to sit with the 4 fouls. Stolke's first free throw falls through. Last season at Iowa, 12.7 points per game, 7.5 boards. Wasn't a great free throw shooter at 67%, but cashes out on both ends. The flow and feel of this game, Kels, right now, it's really herky-jerky, and that favors Brazil more so than it does the Americans, because they want to get on the line.
Yeah, they do. They're averaging way more points in transition, and they are almost tripling the transition points coming into this one as Brazil, as you see Hannah Hidalgo trying to push the pace here for USA and find some flow and find some rhythm.
Kids comes up with the offensive rebound. One thing Team USA has done well is rebound when Camila Cardoso has been sitting on the bench and Madison Booker gets fouled, and she'll go to the line, and now the Brazilian bench getting off of it and nearing a technical foul. These officials are tired of both teams jawing.
Look, for all the basketball games I've played in my career and all the basketball games I've watched, no one's ever happy when a foul is called against them, and I think both benches feeling a little bit of that, especially in this quarter when there's been 10 foul calls already, not even halfway through, but it's the refs who determine that, right? And so if they're tightening up their whistle in this quarter, you play accordingly, and that's something that as an offensive player, you're foaming at the mouth for, right? It means you're either gonna get a whistle or hopefully a look with not as much contact. And as a defender, you just got to be smart. You got to play vertical and stay up. And if it's not what they were allowing in the first half, you have to adjust as the player.
Van Sluten checked out of the game. Joyce Edwards back on the floor. She got the quick pull after throwing up the air ball 3 early in the shot clock. Let's see how she responds now, having to guard Dantes. Dantes, so patient down low. Hidalgo at the nail. Can't get it to drop. And that last touch by De Oliveira will stay here with Team USA. They'll get a fresh 14 to work with. Smith will check into the game for Madison Booker. Let's take a look at Olivia Miles. Really hasn't been able to get going the way she wants to here in this game. Hidalgo jab step, attacking, floater not there. De Oliveira coming in for the rebound. De Oliveira will take the three. It's not there, and Neekins all alone for the board. Neekins takes the choice, Edwards. Hidalgo, Edwards, two-man game. Edwards trying to establish a post position, and another whistle here in this third quarter.
Yeah, both teams in the penalty, and so every single time we see a foul there, and we really saw them go back and forth in that one, and it's almost the referee seeing the secondary movement there is what's going to get the foul on Team Brazil as they both hit the deck. But there's going to be a lot of foul shots in the next 4 minutes and 28 seconds, so buckle up.
Feels that way. It's been a parade to the free throw line here in this one. We've had 8 lead changes so far in this basketball game. The largest lead of the game was 7 for Brazil. Right now their lead 3. 24 free throws apiece. Dantes on the block again. Bumping with Edwards. Falling away. That's so pretty.
Dantes does such a good job. You notice when she starts her shot, she's within a couple inches of her defender, and when she finishes, she's feet away, and that's what makes her so hard to guard when she's got her back to you as a defender.
25 big points. This is her tournament high right now. Single game scoring. Mora. Stolke tried to pull the chair, and Mora blew the layup, but a fresh 14 for Brazil. Gonzalo for 3. That's not there. And Hannah Hidalgo will push the other way. Hidalgo working on Nascimento. Hidalgo cups it to the hoop. Counted and a foul. Hannah Hidalgo earning a trip to the line.
We saw Hannah Hidalgo put this American team on her back yesterday. There was a lot of moves like this. Really tough take. Right to the hoop. She's got 8 points in today's matchup, and going up against 2 of the most dominant players in Damaris Dantes that you see right there, and Camila Cardoso, who's on the bench with 4. Hannah Hidalgo should be in the mix of some of the craftiest players that we've seen in this tournament. She's incredible at dishing to her teammates, averaging 5 assists coming into this one, and she's got 2 already to go along with 4 rebounds and 8 points. Just an all-around player, and you see why Notre Dame was so good yesterday, being led by Hidalgo. Last year. It feels like yesterday.
Flau'jae Johnson getting her first minutes and going to pick up her first foul as she dig down on Damaris Dantes. And that will send Dantes back to the line.
You had a really quick look before they cut away to Kara Lawson of Dantes leading the huddle and showing her leadership there with Team Brazil. But what you didn't see, what I saw, because I'm not looking at the camera, was she put her hands straight up and she's saying, look guys, we need to just, on the defensive end, just keep your hands up, no more fouls. So good leadership there by Damaris Dantes.
Dantes restores the 3-point advantage for Brazil. 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Championship game here at the AmeriCup. Brazil trying to defend their AmeriCup trophy. Team USA trying to get the crown back. Stolke inside, able to get it to fall. We've seen Hannah Stolke hit some tough layups, oversized.
Yeah, give Hannah Hidalgo another assist. So patient, so good at finding her teammates, and a great finish there by Stolke.
That pass too tall for Damiris Dantas. And Team USA trying to string a couple baskets together. Get some momentum flowing their way in this third quarter that has been stuck in mud. Stolke will set the screen for Hidalgo. Hidalgo on the look to get it inside to Stolke. Stolke was battling there, but Van Sloten made herself available. Van Sloten at the nail. That's short. Rebound up for grabs. It was pulled in by Moore. Cacamalchines calls out a set for Brazil. Nascimento. Off the screen is Dantas. Flage got a hand to it. Hidalgo with the pickpocket. And Hidalgo gives Team USA the lead. And Hidalgo fired up here in the third quarter. Brazil timeout. And Team USA take a 1-point lead here in the final of the AmeriCup.
The Americans have 15 points off turnovers, and I said it, you show Hannah Hidalgo an inch, she's going to take a mile, and it starts on the defensive end there as we head into the timeout in the huddle of Team Brazil.
É o detalhe, é o bom bloqueio, segura a menina para abrir, é o passe, vamos, vamos!
Next time on a make, I want to run, I want to go zone one time on a make. I want to go zone one time on a make, okay? I want to go 45, get. Listen to me, listen. 45, get. You're second, okay? When you come off it, if nothing, she's going to rescreen for you, okay? And you'll be popping, okay? 45, get. 45, get, okay? Listen, when we score, we're zone one time, okay? We got to rebound out of it. We have to rebound. Come on, right now, right now.
Take a look at Hidalgo's finish. And here's Flage Johnson, who was able to get a hand to the initial pass to create that turnover for Team USA. Hidalgo fired up here in the third in a 1-point game here in the finals of the AmeriCup. Cacamalchines getting over the timeline. Morris sets the screen. Dantas hands to Malchines, and Malchines all the way to the 10, can't get it to go. Good defense by Van Sloten. Hidalgo wanting to run. Pass inside to Van Sloten. And Hannah Hidalgo starting to percolate here for Team USA.
This is the play that we saw from Hannah Hidalgo. So good on the offensive end, finding herself, even better finding her teammates. 4 assists now in the contest.
Smith able to get a hand to the entry pass. It goes out of bounds. 5 seconds on the shot clock for Brazil to work with. Cacamalchines will inbound here. Mora with 3 to shoot. Straight line drive to the hoop. Can't get it to go. It touched the rim. Fresh 14. Nascimento for 3.
Bella Nascimento does not need a fresh 14. She is 4 for 5 from the three-point line for 19 points.
Here's the zone that Pokey Chapman asked for in the huddle. And Mora blocks Van Sloten. Mora's trying to say that Van Sloten touched it last. And it's American basketball. 10 to shoot on the shot clock. You decide at home. Might have touched Van Sloten on the way out. I'd have to get a better look at that, though. Van Sloten tried to go window, but couldn't find it. De Oliveira back the other way. Kicks to Nascimento, sprays to Dantas. Her 3 in and out. Mora with the offensive rebound. Malchines, nice pass inside to Dantas. No basket. The foul before the pass got to her. And she'll have to earn them at the line.
That's the battle before she gets the ball that I've been harping on. As you see there, just trying to not allow her get to exactly where she wants to get. She's been getting exactly what she wants all game. 26 points for Damaris Dantas. Really stepped up on the offensive end, along with Bella Nascimento in the absence of Camila Cardoso.
It's Kennedy Smith's second foul. Seconds remaining in the period. Team USA can go 2 for 1. If they move quickly, they won't. We'll have to attack a zone. There's a battle down low with Stolke and De Oliveira fighting for position. De Oliveira's going to get called for the foul, and Stolke will head to the line.
Yeah, you see, she really wrapped her arm there and was pulling her to try and regain position as Stolke misses that first one. And look, the story of this quarter has been foul shots.
Yeah.
Both teams shooting high from the free throw line. USA a little over 96%, and that's what's kept them in this one as they find themselves down just one.
Shot clock unplugged for this possession for Brazil. Nascimento being handed by Hidalgo. Kaka Malchines trying to work on Smith. Malchines to the rim. Tough lay, not there. Hidalgo with the rebound, and she's not going to get an opportunity at a look. And that's how we'll end the third period. 10 minutes away from potentially crowning our AmeriCup champion. It's a 1-point game. Brazil in front after 3.
Carlin, in the bronze medal game, we got to double overtime, and with just 10 minutes left to go in the gold medal game, it doesn't get closer than this. The reigning champs up by just 1 as you look at the shooting percentage. I mentioned the high shooting percentage from both teams from the free throw line, and both teams shooting volume free throw shots as well, but volume from the three-point line is Bella Nascimento. She has been so good in the absence of Camila Cardoso. Doesn't get enough credit. She's got 19 points, 4 for 5 from 3. And it's Team USA scoring by committee, defending by committee too, but tough to defend a player like this. And Damaris Dantas, who leads all scorers right now with 28 points for Team Brazil.
Camila Cardoso has had to sit on the bench with 4 fouls in her back pocket. Dantas has shown up for Brazil, trying to lead their charge to another AmeriCup victory. Anna Stolke has been physical in a very physical third quarter. Bella Nascimento, as Kelsey mentioned, finding the range from the land beyond with those pretty threes. One more quarter to go here in this one.
Team Brazil.
Camila Cardoso has had to sit on the bench with 4 fouls in her back pocket. And Dantas has shown up for Brazil, trying to lead their charge to another AmeriCup victory. Anna Stolke has been physical in a very physical third quarter. Bella Nascimento, as Kelsey mentioned, finding the range from the land beyond with those pretty threes. One more quarter to go here in this one. In a 1-point game. We've already seen overtime here once in the bronze medal game. Actually, we saw a double overtime in the bronze medal game, and it came down to the final possession of that one. And we'll see how close this one is down the stretch. It will be Team USA basketball to start the fourth. A reminder, courtside 1891. Your place for streams, schedules, scores from all FIBA international events. Brazil sit back in a 2-3 zone. U.S. with basketball. Booker, Hidalgo, Blake Spears back on the floor. And Van Sloot. Booker dribbling into traffic, and it's going to go the other way.
And you notice for Team Brazil, Camila Cardoso is going to start the fourth quarter on the bench, as you really want her to finish a close game like this. And as they sit down in that zone, really packing the paint. And so I think it's a chess game right now between the coaches as Pokey Chapman goes in and out of zone and man, and so you're confusing Team USA on the offensive end, and that time they just kind of threw it away.
Dantes' three not there. Blake's looking to push the other way. Reagan Beers on the floor playing with 4 fouls. Has to be careful. That's a bad pass there by Blake's. And Kaka Malchines comes up with it. Nascimento's three short. A rare open look missed from her. Hidalgo pushing. Hidalgo will pull. Indeed. Score the basket. And it looks like we have an offensive foul going the other way. And that's the 5th foul on Reagan Beers.
Yeah, you saw her a little extra shove, a little extra drama down there, and that's 5 fouls on Reagan Beers. It's a tough position that USA is in now when Camila Cardoso does come back in, because just body-wise is so good at guarding Camila Cardoso, but she's out to start this one. And if you were interested, or as interested, wow, fellow Nascimento, if you were as interested as Hannah Hidalgo was, that one counted, she actually went and talked to the ref to make sure that her 2 counted. Back-to-back threes. I'm going to stop talking, Carlin. Take it away.
Nascimento delivers, and then Blake's. And look at Joyce Edwards on the steal. Blake's puts it in. Well, after a struggle to score in the 3rd quarter, offense flowing now into 4th. Nascimento guarded by Miles. High dribble. Looking to free herself. Nascimento over the top. Mora, her scoop layup not there. And Olivia Miles with the rebound. Miles fires a pass. Blake's for 3. It's not there. Edwards tapped it to Van Slooten. Five-point advantage for Team USA. Timeout Brazil. And Kara Lawson's bunch feeling it here in the 4th.
As they should. We're in the final frame now, and this is the biggest lead that Team USA has had over Brazil. And it came from an effort play, right? Like, it came from Edwards knew she couldn't get the offensive rebound, but able to tap it forward to an open teammate who held on to her position in front of the hoop for longer than, you may have. And I mentioned the big scorers or the big scorer singular for Team USA and Michaela Blakes with 20 points, and you wonder who else steps up, and it's been everyone. 11 points for Hannah Hidalgo off the bench to help that 30 points from the reserves for USA, and that's how USA is getting it done right now. Playing as a committee, almost every single player has scored, and for Brazil, really reliant on their starters. And so desperate to get Camila Cardoso back in the game for them, but they got to be smart. 4 fouls, and she's picked those up really quickly, too. Playing less than 10 minutes so far in this entire game.
I can't wait any longer to bring her back in. As you see, Damaris Dantes is now 2nd all-time in AmeriCup women's scoring. That stat being kept since '03. A great accomplishment for Damaris Dantes. But she would also love a W in this one to go back-to-back in the AmeriCup. It's a 5-point advantage for Team USA. Camila Cardoso playing with the 4 fouls back on the floor for Brazil. She's guarded by her number mirror in Hannah Stolke. Dantes down low. Working on Edwards, falling away. It's not there. Never touched the rim. Stolke clears. Booker has it. Booker penetrating, and again dribbles it out of bounds. It's the 2nd time in that area where Madison Booker has dribbled it out of bounds. She's frustrated right now. Assistant coach Alicia Milton-Jones got off the bench and looked at Madison Booker and said, "You got to be strong." Let's see if she can respond. Cardoso down low, deep post position. Stolke comes up with the strip. Miles on the run. Miles to the cup. Unable to finish. Nascimento vacuums it in. Brazil want to slow it down. Nascimento turns the corner, stripped by Miles. Team USA suffocating defensively. Malchines, Stolke. It's Blake's open for three. That's off, and Dantes is going to chase it down. Bodies hitting the floor. That was Booker and Victoria.
And the refs are swallowing their whistle now, and so you wonder who can take advantage of that as USA goes 3 straight possessions with blocks.
And it was Stolke that time defending on Cardoso. It leads to a layup for Edwards. Brazil with only 1 timeout remaining in this basketball game as we take under 6:30 to play. They're going to have to figure it out on the court. Let's see if the experience of Brazil can pay off here. Victoria to the basket. She missed the layup. Blake's the float. It's there. No. In and out.
You wanted flow, Carlin. You got flow. You're going back and forth now, and both teams getting good looks.
Nascimento was fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2. And right now, Brazil struggling to find some buckets. Just 3 points here in this period. And this is what this suffocating U.S. defense has done all tournament long. They kept Canada to just 5 points in the 4th quarter in the semifinals. They're doing the same here to Brazil. Nascimento, a really good free throw shooter at the line.
It's been a game of runs. They say that's what basketball is, but by definition, that's how the game has been so far, as USA has stolen the momentum from Brazil, and now they've got their star players back in it. Camila Cardoso looking to make a difference. Tricky though, you got to be so careful not to pick up that final foul.
Olivia Miles walks into a jumper as Cardoso is stuck underneath the screen. 6 points accounting for Olivia. Gonzalo kicks to the corner. Nascimento in and out. Cardoso over the back. Gets the ball there. It's a blocking foul on Blake's.
I think that one could have gone either way, and so let's take another look at it. Yeah, Blake's not able to set her feet there, and Camila Cardoso.
You talk about physical basketball, that's what that is right there. Here's the last play here by Miles. So that foul will put Cardoso at the line, as they say it's in the act of shooting.
Cardoso 7 from 9, 8 from 10. As I say that, 14 points in just over 12 minutes for her.
Blake's having the discussion with referee Bei Xiang right in front of us from Canada. Cardoso with 15 points. Miles attacking Gonzalo in front of her. Here's Blake. She'll pull for 2. Indeed. The basket opening up now for the Americans. Stolke fighting down low to keep Cardoso away from the block. Nascimento comes to the rock. Cardoso's going to set the screen for her. Cardoso on the catch and finish.
An impressive finish by Cardoso as she rolled, found herself a little too far under the basket when she caught that pass, but so skilled, and her touch is so pure under the hoop. She's still able to put it up, and if you're USA, you got to live with that one.
Miles getting too cute with the pass that time. Brazil comes up with a steal. Nascimento. Victoria waiting for the Cardoso screen. Stolke with the good hands. Miles will push. Edwards inside. Counted and the foul!
You know what, Carlin, that possession started on the defensive end. Hannah Stuelke has her hands full on that one, and when she's able to deflect the ball, that motivates that team heading down the other way to get the and one opportunity. Joyce Edwards cashing out, or cashing in on how much they're letting that defense fuel their offense. And right now, it seems like all USA, 17-9 scoring in this fourth quarter.
Edwards completes the three-point play. Brazil with one time remaining in this game with 4:12. Meanwhile, Team USA has all three of their timeouts. Nascimento. Van Sloten steals the ball from Cardoso. She has to let her go. Largest lead of the game for the Americans. Gonzalo fires a pass to Dantas, who has been quiet in this quarter. Held scoreless. She gets an assist to Cardoso that time. Olivia Miles directing traffic here in the fourth. Michaela Blakes powering the offense. Turning the corner with 27 points, in this one. Blakes with 3 to shoot. Michaela Blakes over Dantas. Can't get that to drop. Shot clock violation. Good possession defensively that time for Brazil.
And look, the USA wanted so badly to attack Camila Cardoso that Joyce Edwards was kind of stuck in the key, body to body with her down there. And because of that, no one was really moving. So a stagnant offensive possession for USA leads to the turnover. On the other end, if you're Brazil, you want to continue to feed Camila Cardoso, and she's got 19 points right now. The last couple possessions have looked really easy for her when she's been able to get the positioning that she wants. And Hannah Stuelke, not in right now, but she handled that defensive. Oh, she almost, sorry, did we jinx her there? She just fell and tripped on something in the huddle, but handled that defensive assignment like a real vet. And I was really impressed with the way that she was able to, 1, block her twice, but 2, just defend with her hands up and not make it easy for Camila Cardoso to get it. And look, Hannah Stuelke she's a forward at the University of Iowa. She's the Big Ten Sixth Player of the Year back in 2023. That was her freshman season. And I say playing like a vet. She's still young. They're all so young, but veteran moves here. You see, that's what happens when Camila Cardoso is able to pin her defender. That time, she pinned Grace Van Sloten right above and the lob wide open, and that's what Camila Cardoso can continue to do as we take a look at Hannah Hidalgo, who is going to make every offensive player for Brazil go through a little bit of hell as she doesn't give anybody any breathing room.
Victoria tripped and was lucky to get it over the timeline. Cardoso on the floor with Dantas, Victoria, Gonzalo, and this is Nascimento. Inside, Cardoso working on Van Sloten. Good footwork inside and able to, she can't bank it in. As Edwards pulls down the rebound. Miles with Hidalgo, Van Sloten, Edwards, and Smith. This is Miles. Bounce pass to Edwards, inside. Got it to go over Cardoso.
You got to continue to attack her because she's either going to play a little bit coy like she did in that one because she doesn't want to pick up that foul, or she's going to get her foul. So either way, you're laughing. And that's worst case scenario for Team USA. If you're going to foul down low, especially someone as experienced as Damaris Dantas, as strong as Dantas, you can't let her get the and one opportunity. Watch how she gathers. Goes straight up. Hannah Hidalgo hanging off that left arm, and she's still able to finish.
Our last Edwards finish there. Here's one free throw for Dantas. It's back to a 7-point advantage. 31 big points for Damaris Dantas in the final. She ties the tournament high as Ariela Girantes dropped 31 in pool play. Hidalgo hands to Miles. Miles weaving through traffic. 5 to shoot. Miles at the nail. drops in 2.
Olivia Miles is almost never looking for herself. She's got 8 points tonight, but she's got 9 assists. And so when you're defending her, every other person's got to be glued to their offensive player.
Look at Edwards selling out to try and stop that bounce pass from going through. She gets called for the foul, but you love that effort.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get from Olivia Miles every time. I mentioned almost averaging a triple-double, and you don't do that just casually walking into the gym. She's an all-hard player. I like the substitution for the USA. You bring Hannah Stuelke back into the game, and Stuelke doing a really good job on the defensive end against Kamilla Cardoso. Only 2 fouls, so she's got a couple to play with here as she's got a really big defensive assignment with her, what did you call it, number mirror twin?
All of the above.
10 on 10.
Yeah. Dantas able to hit the second. Minute 50 remaining in this basketball game. Only 1 timeout for Brazil, 2 for Team USA. No fouls to give for the Americans. Brazil has a ton of fouls to give. And that's why Gonzalo is all over Hidalgo right now. Hidalgo in her bag. Can't get it to drop. And Dantas will push the other way. Victoria inside. Cardoso ripped by Miles. Olivia Miles skipping her way into the front court. And now turns back around.
That's a big stop for Team USA. You just steal the confidence away from Kamilla Cardoso as
Hidalgo turns the corner to the rim. Can't get it to drop. Stuelke with the rebound. But given away. Time running out on Brazil. Nascimento now. Wants some movement. Gets a screen from Victoria. Good switch. Smith. Hand all over the basketball. Victoria to the basket. Can't make the layup. Ball up for grabs. Who touched it last? It's staying here with Brazil. 41.8 seconds remaining in the final of the AmeriCup.
And now look, if you're Brazil, you're frustrated because you couldn't get a bucket on that, but you got to be more frustrated that you didn't get a bucket and you wasted a whole 24 seconds. You need a score with just 40 seconds left to go in the gold medal game here.
Dantas straight on threes there. Brazil looks like they're going to play straight up. Pokey Chapman saying you got a foul. Here comes the trap. Nascimento almost stole it. Miles eating clock here. Brazil not fouling, and they finally foul. 23.3 seconds remaining in the game. So much time ticking off the clock. 14 seconds of game time off the clock before that foul came, and they still have to do it again. It's only their second team foul here in this quarter.
And it's a 2-possession game, something to keep in mind. There's no magic 5-point play, and so Brazil's going to have to get it in their hands twice in the next 23 seconds.
Smith trying to inbound. Gets it to Hidalgo. Gonzalo all over her. Again, time ticking away. Gonzalo finally fouling. Another 5 seconds off the game clock there.
You see Pokey Chapman in the top of your screen there saying, all right, do it again. Do it again. We got another one.
Got 2 more fouls to give here. That one coming quicker. Just 2 seconds coming off the clock. And there's the foul. It's going to put them in a penalty, and they'll send Hannah Hidalgo to the line.
Hidalgo is shooting 100% from the free throw line so far in this game. 5 for 5 to help with her 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. An all-around game for Hannah Hidalgo. She was the TCL player of the game yesterday in the semifinals. Now she'll have a chance to go to the line to extend the lead for Team USA.
Madison Booker checked into the game for Olivia Miles. Hidalgo's first free throw leaves the door open for Brazil. Brazil has 3-point shooters on the floor. You saw Damiris Dantas step out and knock down the 3. Gonzalo could hit it. So can Bella Nascimento, who is on fire from 3 here tonight. She has 24 points. So Brazil take their final timeout with 14.7 seconds remaining in this game. And you can hear the Americans who have made the trip down to Chile chanting the 3 letters, USA. In a 6-point game, are starting to feel themselves here in the final. A lot was made, Kelsey, of the youth here for Team USA and how that might impact them in this tournament. Average age of 20.4. They are playing one of the most experienced teams in this tournament, an average age of 26 years old, and a team that has a lot of returning players from the AmeriCup last time around. And Team USA is 14.7 seconds away from erasing all doubt and getting back atop the American mountain here in the Americas.
Yeah, you mentioned it. This is a team in Brazil trying to defend their title. 5 of those players in that roster return. A lot of them on the court right now for Team Brazil. And it's not over till it's over. 6 points is just 2 possessions. And like you said, they have some really good 3-point shooters on the court right now for them. Bella Nascimento is 5 for 8 from 3 so far in this one.
She's number 8 in white. Smith guarding her. Victoria will inbound. Dantes on the floor with Gonzalo, Cardoso, and Nascimento. Hidalgo, Van Sluten, Booker, Smith, and Stolke on the floor for the Americans. They go immediately inside. Nascimento from the corner for 3. It's not there. Hidalgo with the rebound. Gets out the open floor. And Hannah Hidalgo will go to the foul line. That basket won't count. The foul was called way before that. And Team USA's bench starting to let some smiles break through as you see Michaela Blake's giving a bear hug to Hannah Stolke. And, of course, coach is always going to coach. Kara Lawson saying, hey, it's not over.
Coach. No smiles from coach and no smiles from the players on the court. They know there's still a lot of work to be done as Hannah Hidalgo hits that first.
Gonzalo fouls out of the game with her 5th. What a tournament for Hannah Hidalgo. Sweet 16 points here in the final. Kaka Malchines trying to find her way in the front court. Hidalgo still defending her. Malchines at the horn. The Americans back on top of the America's mountain. They take the crown as queens of the AmeriCup in 2025 with a 92-84 victory.